Someone asked why this is introduced on YouTube. Invented in the Anyway, hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nomhlebala and it's Let's Be to you guys. And today, we'll be doing yet another story time. You guys received your story time in the Senzileyo previously so well. It is by far the most viewed videos. It's literally the most viewed videos. I think we are on 700 and something views, and the other videos are on like 100 and something, 200 and something there. Guys, can you get any videos please, because clearly I get that but can you get any videos you know. Anyway, today we're going to be doing a story time about how Amapara broke into our house and almost stole us. I go finally guy. It's really not funny. Like, it was a very traumatic experience. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys about that today. Before we get into that, I was drinking here. My glass already has lipstick, but yeah, we are having red wine as per usual. Can have a story time and not drink something. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the year is 2016, ne? And then it's me and my cousin are living together at Fletton. To give you guys the background story, so for those who know, for those who've watched like my previous video, you might have picked up from which one? I think my get to know me tag. Yeah, I think my get to know me tag, I did mention that. And maybe like my previous story time, I did mention that I went to high school in Yugi. So I went to high school in Yugi, and then Paya Nabesi Funda Yugi High, which was a boarding school, but Nabesi boarding house, Beslala election F18. So we've been that school like I think since, I don't know since when. But then I think since 2009, I'm really not sure. But we started staying alone. Go from 2014, we were doing grade 10, me and my cousin at that time, and then we stayed there up until grade 12. That is afflicting. So we've been staying in Lokshin like the whole time, but basically sort. Yeah, but then go from 2014 to 2016, we started staying alone, which was fine. Like, it was not a trace, like it was not a problem. Like we managed to do it. Like, honestly, we didn't have a problem with staying alone. So yeah, it was me and my cousin, and then and my cousin brother, my little cousin brother. But later on, my little cousin brother left, and then kwasheka mna cousin yam, right? So ke ngoku kule nto yethu yohlala sodwa, sihlala soyi-2 sefletini, like ziifleti I think zaziyi-3 ne, and then ngapha kuhlala omnye ubhuti, and then kuhlale thina, and then kuhlala omnye ubhuti ngapha. Fine. And then so this other day we had this thing there where elokishini apha besihlala khona, like just like every other lokishi, like bekungekho, like it was not the safest, like literally just like every other lokishi. But I don't know why. I think, as I always see it with other people, that awungumntu oyikayo up until something happens to you, then uzoqasuba phako. So yeah, I think that's that, because now I used to not like that, like I used to hear things about, okay, fine, it's not safe, or bani like they were stabbed, or bani they were robbed, or whatever, but I've never really been scared, you know. Like, I used to walk around well, not like but go 6-7, like I'd be walking around, maybe going to the shop or a friend's place or whatever the case is, then like petty phone yam, and it didn't have a problem with it. And then like nasendlini, I remember I did mention that at some point we stayed with my little brother. So at that time he used to stay he used to come back late home, yabo. So sometimes, like, because he didn't have a phone at that time, I'm not sure whether he didn't have a phone or whatever, but guess sometimes he didn't communicate. Sometimes he wouldn't come back, but he didn't communicate that, okay, fanakazubuya, maybe like that we're playing maybe video games or whatever with friends and stuff, and then he ends up not coming back, and then he wouldn't communicate that. But because Tina sihleli silindele uba kuza umntu, you know, so we'd leave the door unlocked or whatever. So I think we got used to the fact that sometimes you do sleep with the door unlocked that we never really paid attention to locking the door. So yeah. So, but this specific day of the incident, the door was locked. However, we had like a door and then we had a burglar like at the outside the door. So the burglar was open, like wide open. Not only it was not locked, like it was wide open and the door was locked. At this point, it's only me and my cousin. My cousin was the same age as me. So and we're both girls. Fine. So we are sleeping, ne? Like it was a school night, because we used to go home a lot on weekends, but some weekends we didn't. But this specific time it was a school night, so we are sleeping, and then my cousin wakes me up, and then she's like, "Did you hear that?" And then I'm like, "Hear what?" She's like, "Something was happening here." Oh, so our bed was under a window, so there was a window, and then just below the window we put our bed. So literally, like, if you're still in ants. So obviously whatever is going to happen, like just like through outside the window, if you're a light sleeper, you're going to hear it. Me, like, I sleep like a proper sleep. So my cousin also sleeps, hey, but fortunately she heard that something was happening in the window. And then when she woke me up, then like it suddenly went silent. And then she was like, "Did you hear that?" I'm like, "Oh, what was that?" And it's like, "I don't know, but something was happening in the window." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Okay then, like okay then, if something was happening, then let's call people to us." Like basically we knew abantu abadala from like the location, so we basically knew who to call for assistance. Like we would call who, and then hopefully who would pull through, and that would be like abantu abadala. So I'm like, "Let's call who and who galoko." And then she's like, and this thing is quiet now, ne? So now she's second guessing herself because also I didn't hear it. And then she's like, "But what if ibizinkomo?" And then I'm like, "What if it was not?" So because like we didn't have like a gate that used to be locked, so sometimes cows would come in like ebusuku and then like use the yard as the kraal, I guess, to sleep there though. So she was thinking, what if it was a cow that was walking and then passed like directly next to the window, whatever the case was. But she was like, what if I just heard things and then it's not what we think it is? Me, I'm like, what if it's not? And then she's like, "Okay, I wait." I wait. Nothing is happening. And then okay, fine, we keep quiet, and then they are also quiet. My cousin, guys, my cousin like sleeps so fast. Like literally, my cousin sleeps so fast. Like I'd get into bed like 2 hours before her and toss and turn, and then she gets into bed 2 hours later and then immediately sleeps. Like she sleeps immediately. Yeah, so she goes back to sleep. So I can hear her breathing pattern that now she's back in deep sleep. And then when she sleeps, me, I can't sleep anymore. Like I realized that day, but you can't sleep anymore. And then when she goes back to sleep, this thing continues again. I wake her up. I'm like, "Girl, those are not cows. Those are definitely no cows. Like, there's no way." But as in and then when we keep quiet, like they continue to do whatever they're doing. If it's still cows, no, those are no cows, girl. So the smart move that me and my cousin did, we decided we're not gonna scream, ne? Fine. Like that, like guys, that was the smartest decision we did. Kula situations as we decided we're not gonna scream, at least not now. Now we need to find a solution to Lando Yenzikapa. And then we decide we're gonna call these people. Now we know who to call, ne? No problem. We decide to call the people that like we thought that could possibly help us. And then we make, I think, 2 or 3 calls. And then, yeah, I think we successfully make 2 calls or 3 calls. I don't remember, but bakhona abantu pick her up. So we basically woke people up. But there are people who picked up. I think 2 or 3 of them. That's Profile, like this, the amount of people that you knew. It's like a smart team that you could call. Fine. And then okay, fine, obviously like, they're not gonna pull through now. These people are at the window, like, oh, we also called our neighbor. Remember I said we had a neighbor that used to stay this side, and then he was a guy in this side. We didn't know the neighbor who used to stay this side, we only knew the one who used to stay this side. So we tried to call him. I had heard him coming in the previous night, like very late in the evening, and I could tell that he was dragging footsteps as like. So I didn't have hope when we were calling him, and he didn't pick up. So we called the other ones who are not here. Yabo. So obviously they're not gonna pull through now. Like we're in the same location, but these people are in the window, at the window, sharp. Then when we're done calling, we're like, okay, fine. Now we have hope that someone is coming. So what do we do in the meantime? Because these people are not going to come now. We need to do something in the meantime. Oh, guys. Then oh, by the way, these people now heard that we are wide awake, and now we are not going back to sleep. We are busy making calls, whatever the case is. So they decided to discontinue. Like they just continued. So we had a window, ne? I don't know how to describe the window, but if you guys know those aluminium windows, like with the aluminium frame, yeah. But the ones that we had, they had like the wooden frame. So the shape, or the frame rather, is like the same as the aluminium one, but it's a wooden frame. So what they were doing while they were making like the noise in the window, they didn't break the window. They were trying to remove like the frame so that the whole like window comes out. I don't know why they didn't just break the window. But anyway, that's what they were doing. They were removing the planks that were used for the frame to do that. So when they realized that we're not going back to sleep, they just decided, in fact, let's just continue. They did their job. Now we continued inside and did our thing. Then after that, after we were done calling, we decided, you know what? Let's hide our phones. We hide our phones. We have 2 phones in this house. Oh, by the way, my cousin at that time, I think she didn't have a proper phone. I think she had just, if only can be more shaky, so she was using utilili, like a tilili behind rand. We hide the tilili, and then we hide my phone. Mind you, also me at that time, I don't have a phone. I'm using my aunt's phone. So my aunt's phone is gonna go. I'm using my aunt's phone, so it's gonna go. So okay, fine, we hide utilili, we hide my aunt's phone. We've got 2 phones here in the house that my cousin used to use prior. Is lenditi moshekile. Ebene phone is 2. So moshakalolo is phone is 2. Kwathi xa mosheke 1 wasebenzisa mosheka. So those 2 is phones zisepha endlini, ne? So they are there like on top of the something that was supposed to be a TV stand. They are sitting there, and then Tina with us, we have like these 2 phones that are working. We hide them under the mattress. We have a laptop in this house, but Amapara wouldn't think that high school students have laptop, ne? Yes, laptop here too. And then we didn't have money. We genuinely didn't have money. So eventually, after hiding earphones out and stuff, now we are just waiting for the worst to happen. We don't know what we're gonna do. The bed is too flat for us to go under the bed. Go tinge like a sasbasazutini. Like at this point, we're just like, okay, fine, may the worst just happen. What the fuck is gonna happen? Okay. Fine, the window, they finally finished now with the window, and then when they are done, like they're removing the window, and then that's why I don't understand why they didn't break that window, because now they let the glass fall, and then we hear the glass breaking, and then only now we started screaming. We screamed. We screamed. Yo guys, it's how to like scream. And then, well, obviously no one, I think the reason why we didn't want to scream in the first place is because we knew chances are there was no one who was going to come to our rescue. Who was going to come to our rescue? Anyway, it's a scream, and then okay, go scream kwethu okay, lamfana ngene qala by 2. It's 2 guys. So angena owokuqala xa egqiba ungena and then he had like a beanie, but then he realizes that his whole face is showing, and then he decides, you know what, he goes back, ne? And then he put a beanie up to here, so he's gonna look at us like this. He's gonna look at us like this now. And then he comes in. It's also dark because we switch off lights when we're sleeping. So it's also dark inside. We didn't switch the lights back on. And then he comes in, and then when he comes in now, he has a knife. Yo, guys, I've never apologized like that to someone. I said I don't know why I'm laughing at this story because that's quite well. So yeah, it is what it is. It was like to someone that I didn't do anything to. Like I was just apologizing by we are really sorry. For what? I was so angry at myself the next morning. Like, why was I apologizing? But obviously I was in that situation. Like, don't even opinion. No, and then I think what was making me more angry is the fact that I apologized, and like I'm apologizing to you and I didn't do anything to you, and still you have no mercy. So I think that's what like was making me angry. But yeah, some people don't have mercy outside. But anyway, so he pulls through, and then he has his knife, and then he tells us to shut up, obviously. And then we shut up. I mean, there's a knife. And then we shut up, and then he's like, he wants our phones. This is where it's interesting. I told you guys that we had 2 phones that are not working, and we had 2 phones that are working. And then we had hidden the ones that are working, and those that are not working are like they are literally not us going to our hiding spot to take out the phones that are working to give to the mapara. I think it was mainly because like we were really scared. Everything was happening too fast, and we didn't plan. Like me and my cousin only paid attention to the fact that the phone is the following day. Like at that time when we were hiding the phones, we didn't plan that we were gonna give them the ones that are not working. Fine, we give them the phones. Fine. The other one is waiting outside. So we give them the phones, and then the one money, we told them that we don't have money, and then they're like, okay, sharp. And then he's like, okay, we must go and open the door for him now. So if I here to get like it's if you have a picture of what I'm talking about, it's flat as it is, it's a lining. There's no window at the back of any flat. There's no window at the back. We have a bedroom, and then we have a kitchen. And then when you enter the door, you get into the kitchen, and then from the kitchen there's a door to a bedroom. There's a window at the kitchen, there's a window at the bedroom. So when all this was happening, like there was no way that we could have like went out with the backroom window whatsoever, and these people were at the front, so the kitchen window was not going to help because whatever. So now they are done for like according to us by and then they want us to open for them, and then we're like, oh okay, this is the end of it. We're not gonna have phones, but it's okay, we only lost our phones, it's okay, they must go already, we have enough trauma. We open the door, and then we go to the kitchen side. So three. It's me, my cousin, and this guy. We go to the kitchen side, and then we open the door. The other one is waiting outside. And then when we get to the kitchen and then we open the door, this nigga tells us to go outside. And then we go outside, all of us. And then, like, we go outside. And then this nigga tells us to close the door and let's go. That's where we were like, me and my cousin were like, something is off here. Convoy off up. Like, I thought you guys came here for the phones and money. Where the hell are we going? Like, siyapi. And I get that. Okay, then after that, students, so they knew exactly that, like, they wouldn't come to break into our house, like, to gain e-phone in Mali, like, it was badly, like, from high school students. But with the same breath, we used to go to UK High, so, like, UK High was a thing, a Pyrloxian, for whatever reason. So it was a thing. So at some point, we were not sure about, like, they came to us because they thought that we have money, like we properly have money, but now they realize that we don't have money. But I'm just like, oh, okay, no. Fine. This is why now Tina kumele sihambe. where the hell are we going? Now I was like there were scary things that were happening there, man. Like there were things there, like they found like someone was raped and then was killed after that by the river, whatever the case was. Like things like that used to happen. So immediately when they say we must leave, I was like, statistic, I'm not going anywhere. My cousin was also like, we're not going anywhere, see happy. And I'm guys, like they're not gonna carry me. Like there's no way. So fine, girl. We decided, cousin number, no, we're not cooperating to that. We are not going anywhere. And then, okay, they're not gonna win this, ne? But abazuyina lento ne, but abazuyamkela mos babazuyina. But phethele meli one. Lomfana uphethele meli one. When you got outside, there's another nigga. This nigga doesn't have a knife. So we are 4 people and we are dealing with one knife in this situation. And but they're gonna steal us using one knife. So being me, I decided, but you can do everything. Like you can take my phone, you can take my money, you can even take all the clothes inside the house, but there's no way you are taking me. I'm not coming. So I just looked and then I realized but the only thing that abayitembileyo aba uba izosenza se cooperate yile, right? And mna cooperator and into ezasifaka engxakini yile mela. So you know what? Let me just take this knife. I decided to be a MacGyver and take the knife, right? I'm gonna take the knife, ne? And I don't even know what I'm gonna do with the knife, but I'm just like, and I'll figure it out after that. But hey, right? They didn't see that one coming, like they didn't expect it. So when you put her email, as much as they didn't expect it, he didn't easily let go of the knife, right? So he put white guns, and then he gave me the look, and now I was not gonna back down. Remember, we called people. In my head, now I'm just buying time. People are coming. We're gonna do as much as possible that we can possibly do up but asindawo, and kuzofuneka senze ukuphushululo up until someone pulls through. Someone is gonna pull through. I know someone is coming. Someone is on their way. Fine. So that's, by the way, how I got this girl. I'm not sure if you got, that's how I got this girl. So Nandi bambe the sharp side of the knife, and then he's holding the pin of the knife. But you get me. He's holding the holder of the knife. Sichisane. Nyani yenzeke le nto bendiyithembile. Esithi sisathisane kuphume our neighbor, the one that I told you guys that he had come home drunk the previous evening. He comes outside. He's like, I think he was still drunk. He's like, no, okay. What's it gonna do? Then we all look up, ne? I don't know what else was happening. I think the other guy was holding my cousin while this one dealt with me. I didn't really pay attention to what was happening. My focus was on this knife. Then this guy is like, no, okay, what's it doing? And then we both, me and this one, the knife one, we look up and then we drop the knife. Ne? So you too, see a knife, so John. Oh, and then I'm like, okay, fine. Now I'm like, I have the audacity to do anything that I can do in this world. So we look up, we drop the knife, and then when I look, this one is trying to run. Because what the hell? So I pull him, and then like that guy didn't see it coming. Like imagine you break into someone's house, and then you ask them, you order them around, and then they do everything that you want them to do. Then the next thing they decide to fight. So I pull him, and then azlikile, and then awe, and then I see wa aphakame mphinde ndimtsale yabo. But I also fell, so we both fell by you, but naphakame fast ndizama umtsala, but I didn't get up yabo. So I obviously lost. But kuyo yonke loo nto besiyenza, my phone fell. So I got my phone back. But my cousin's phone went, but my cousin's phone was at Italy anyway, so we were not too hurt about it. So mine fell, and then I got my phone back. And then now we like what in the hell just happened? Oh, and at that time now I'm not feeling anything. Remember, I'm Mrs. MacGyver. I have what do you call this? I have a scar now. I'm bleeding like nobody's business. So when they ran, okay, the other guy that we called, he was staying down the street, and I know he had a gun. Everyone knew that he had a gun. So see, they gunshot, but I think he was just firing up and stuff. And then he pulls through naye. Then Bafika Shem was Tonga. And then like my neighbor comes, and then we call I think the other lady that we called, and she called the landlord, and the landlord also put through. And then I realized, hectic, I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding like nobody's business. Hey. So now low situation again, and then I don't remember if we even called the cops. Guys, I don't believe in cops. I'm sorry to say this, but I've never been in a situation when this in Magini and cops pulled through for me. I don't remember a day. I'd be lying. But anyway, I don't even remember if we called them. If we called them, they never showed up. Did they? I don't remember. I don't remember anything that had to do with cops in that situation. But I remember the landlord taking me, well, my cousin also accompanied, because she was not going to sleep alone. I mean, duh, that just happened. So he took me to hospital. Emadli is like 20 kilometers away from Yuki, and to Yuki. So we went to hospital, and then when we got to hospital, and then now we're waking them up for them to stitch my hand. What? Am I expecting them to stitch my hand at that time? They're not gonna do that. Who's gonna do that? And then they just clean my hand, and then they bandage and then they give me painkillers. I think they also gave me ointment, and then I asked for a bandage, because if you're not gonna stitch my hand, at least again the bandage. And then they're like, no, so that is a. And I'm just like, are you listening to yourself? Do you see this? Fine. We leave, and then we go back home. I think only then did we call our parents. I think at that time we just knew that calling our parents was not gonna solve any problem. I think we called them after the whole situation and explained, and then we came back, and then the following day I was writing. I was in grade 12. We were writing trial exam. The following day I was writing Afrikaans. I don't even remember paper what was it, but I know I was writing. It was not an essay though, but I was writing Afrikaans. This is my right hand, by the way, and I am right-handed. So now I'm in a situation where my hand is injured and I can't write, right? And then go like I have to write a verbal exam. I have to write a verbal Afrikaans exam, and then I'm like, you kidding me, right? And then nope, they're not kidding me. I'm gonna write a verbal Afrikaans exam. Does it like Afrikaans? I mean, I did Afrikaans from grade 4 or 5, but and at that point I was in grade 12. And I didn't know Afrikaans, and I'm expected to write a verbal exam. For those who don't know what a verbal exam is they're gonna take someone. In my case, they took like our secretary, I think, because she was not busy, I guess, because it's busy invigilations. So they took our invigilator, so someone who knows Afrikaans. And then me and her, we're gonna go and sit like in a room where it's just the two of us, and then I'm gonna read the Afrikaans paper, and then I'm gonna answer to her. So basically I'm gonna read the paper, and then I'm gonna tell her what I would answer, and then she's gonna write for me. Like mama engandikeki. Like la mama, she was a bubbly person. She was lamtunala personality. Oh, and like auntie, my sweetheart, how would you spell that? Oh, this is making my life difficult because what the hell? Like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't even know if it's the right word. Now I should spell it. To think about it, I think that was really unfair. They should have just made me write a sick test or something. Aibo, guys. But anyway, like easy test yazonto zikhutshwa nje ile nto zeni in high school. It's a big thing, so I think that's why they were like, to make their lives easy, let me just write like a verbal exam. So I wrote this verbal exam, and then it was the worst. I got the lowest marks I've ever gotten in Afrikaans. I mean, I've always gotten low marks in Afrikaans, but that was the worst. I failed that paper dismally, obviously. And I wasn't prepared to write like a verbal exam. It's like you show up at school, like you are injured, you can't write, and then they say, oh, okay, fine, we have a solution for you. Verbal exam, verbal. But anyway, after school, I went to a doctor, and then the doctor did say that I couldn't do it like and then she stitched me and stitched against the and then gave me painkillers and stuff, and then I went home. And then for the following days, my cousin was my helper basically, because I couldn't wash properly or whatever. So I know this. Oh guys, me and my cousin have been through a lot in this life thing together. That person is my ride or die son. Anyway, so yeah, that's what happened. And after that, it was not nice at all. Oh, I forgot the part that we also went to the police station. I don't remember Sasiotine police station. Maybe the cops came the previous night, and then kwathiwa size ngomso, or ngomso safika izolo safika kuvaliwe police station, so we had to go back tomorrow. I don't know, but for some reason we had to go to the police station. We went to the police station, and then as we get police station, one of the cops who stays estratweni say too didn't have a problem with telling us that she heard us when we were screaming, but usivele kude indlela ebalisa ngayo uthi ndinivele kude bengathi ndiyaphupha. I'm just like, okay, fine, that happened, but there's no need for you to tell us that. Ufuna sizive njani, like ufuna sithini ngale information usinika yona. And we also bumped into our neighbor, another neighbor in town, and then now she didn't mind stopping us to basically tell us that she was looking at the whole situation through the window. I get that she was a woman and uhlala yedwa, and she uhlala nomntanakhe, but technically uhlala yedwa kwangekho umuntu ongutata kulaa mzi. And then obviously she was scared for her life, obviously. But couldn't you try to call the cops or something instead of just standing there and looking at us? And okay, fine, so uyenzile loo nto wasibukela through the window and didn't do anything to help us. But why are you telling us? What is it, no information? Like, how do you expect us to feel about the nto? I remember like ichomi yethu sasihamba nayo ngalaa mini wathi laa mama esathetha wavele wasitsala wathi like she was so annoyed, and me, I'm just looking at her like, and then when she's like, how uyaniqhela? I'm just like, valid, because guys, like sasiphelelwe ngalaa mini was like, I don't want to see the people who heard the whole situation and didn't do anything about it. Umntu ade waphuma. It's a guy who stays like 5 houses away from us, like literally when our neighbor woke up, he was also by the gate. So like basically baphuma ngexesha elinye kwaye kwazofika umuntu 5 houses away, kukho umuntu ome phaya efestireni usibukeleyo, not even attempting to like interrupt the situation. Valid, I get that, like akho safe and umuntu ongumama, but at least don't come and tell us, or call the cops, do something. If I went to information, and how are you expecting us to feel? And yeah, so that's what happened. And the thing, like, yo, bruh, ever since that day, tabali paku. Like, if you know what a paku is, like tabali paku. I'm someone who's very, I'm always very alert and aware, like I'm a very scared person. There's a word for it, dilibe. There's a word for it, dilibele. But anyway, someone was panicky. Okay, because I'm gonna focus on it and dilibele. If I remember it, I'm gonna write it down here. I'm gonna make sure that I remember it and write it down here. But anyway, yeah, that's what happened. And then till this day, guys, I think I was telling my colleague or whoever I was speaking to recently, like sometimes I amaze myself by because sometimes and like I'm not scared of anything. Well, it's because of the building that I stay at. It's very safe. Well, maybe like 70% safe, and I'm just like, okay, fine. Chances are, like, if we go into a kitchen, I know go into a kitchen, and there's that thing of I have that automatic a freshener thingy that goes off. Sometimes it goes off ebusuku, but then do like after, and then I'm just like, what was that? Then oh, a freshener. If it was yeah, like I would have to get up to go and look and stuff. Because I remember when we started staying alone, we came to, after that year, we never stayed alone, by the way. After that, we never stayed in our house. We didn't want to stay in our house. And then another lady who was one but was a friend of ours, but she allowed us to go and stay at her home. She allowed us to go and stay kokwabo, so we used to sleep there. So we stayed at our place basically, but we slept there. And then up until my sister came and stayed with us in Yuki. And then finally after that, we came to varsity obviously, and then we stayed building security, this and that. So we stayed there for 3 years. Nice, like we're never scared. I mean, every like but we were never really scared, honestly. Like we didn't have a problem with no panic, whatever. And then, but yeah, there were instances where when we were home or whatever the case is, like we would really have triggers of yonke lanto and but we haven't really healed, hey, up until we went and stayed after varsity. We went and stayed kwenye flat up Central, and then when we stayed there, hey, they broke into, we got there in December, and then January, February, I remember they broke into that flat in February. It was the night, it was the 21st of February, and then we had gone out because it was going to be my birthday on the 22nd. So I think the moment we went out, they saw that we went out, and then they broke into our house. So when we came back on my birthday, we used to leave our phones at home because the streets are not safe, right? Leave your phone at home. We learned to do that in Rays, like Rays phones and stuff. So there we used to do the same thing because aqua safe is stratweni. And then little did we know that it was also not safe in Lini, because the following day we came back and we didn't have any phones. And then usafika izipahla zethu zigcwele ebhedini kuyisinje yoba bekuqhekeziwe. Nalapho we reported the issue to the cops. Nothing happened, obviously. And then COVID happened, so we went to stay home. And then when we eventually came back to stay there, guys, sasikadana asasinikani 10 zolala, like akekho unyaka endingazange ndamlala kanje ngala nyaka. That year I didn't sleep to save my life. Like I didn't sleep, my cousin didn't sleep. Like I said, my cousin falls asleep easily, right? So if my cousin falls asleep, then because I'm just like, if my cousin is sleeping, so because the only thing about the situation that happened in Yuki was, what if this lady asabava papa masebila? Because I think the initial plan, their initial plan was for them to come and then break into our place and then siphapha sibe sendlini and then rape us or whatever. But ke ngoku bavile uba sibave early, and then like basically we even called people to put through, so they can't do that anymore pie ending yabo. And then so that's why they were like, okay fine, plan B first, now we need to go with them, right? So now that's why I was like, I couldn't brush off the idea of if they had come in. Do you get me? Like if they had come in silele. So with that whole situation that happened there, now they broke into, we no longer feel safe. And I'm just like, I'm not sleeping when my cousin is sleeping. Someone needs to be up, like a situation, because we can't risk a situation where someone is gonna like break into our house silele and then sivuke sekelapha. Like at least when like we wake up and then they're still outside, we still have time to basically come up with a plan. But when they are here, what are we gonna do, you know? So that was my worst fear. So that's why I didn't sleep. Yo guys, no, andandlala emini if andangandawo. But then COVID happened, then we went home, and then at some point we had to come back, and then still saphila lompilo yoba and lala. I think I started sleeping when I eventually got a job at a call center, so I'd be tired, then I'd be forced to sleep. But nalapho little khushu, I'm up. Like if something moves, guys, once it is something, I mean even the leaves of the tree, if they move, I'm up. Like everything needs to be steady, nothing needs to move. If something moves, I'm up. So yeah, like I didn't enjoy our stay there. As a result, the place was really nice, beautiful, aesthetically pleasing. But as a result, like when we were looking for, like when we got this place, we went and looked for another place. Obviously, when we were looking for another place, our priority was not aesthetics, our priority was safety. We're like, we don't care how the place looks as long as is safe. That's how we got this place. We're like, oh, okay fine, this one is okay, it's okay. But the other one was more beautiful than this one, but this one is safer, and the city is yamanandoni na safety. And I don't regret picking this place, because yeah, I feel very safe here. I feel really, really safe here. Otherwise, that thing really did a thing to me. And it didn't help that after that, when I was in varsity, like I did have encounters amapara and stuff. So till this day, but I do try sometimes to like composure, because I stay in a place where I'm a paragwele, and unfortunately I work from home. I work from work to home, so I can't be walking, like I'm very scared, you know, because cook for China 17. So yeah, so I have to, yeah. Anyway, yeah guys, that's my story about how Amapara broke into our house and almost stole me and my cousin. If we didn't fight that night, who knows if we'd still be alive. Who knows if ngesisaphila okanye ngesisaphila, but the worst could have happened. Obviously the worst was gonna happen if says cooperating. But yeah, anyway, yeah, that was it from me and my story. Thank you so much guys for watching this story. I hope you enjoyed. Please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe and share my video guys, because you guys are watching my story times and you did say that you enjoy them. Like we comments is a previous story, and then you said you wanted more, of which I'm gonna do. But my only problem is that especially like dramatic, like there are incidents where I'm thinking about that I could do a story time about, but it is liberally details say incidents then I'm just like, how am I going to tell the story? You know, so you know, at some point, because there's standing that I'm kidding, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I'm gonna try by all means to do as more story times that I can possibly do, and then I can try and do some other sit down videos as news or story times. Maybe I don't know. And then I was thinking of also trying TV reviews. Like I enjoy watching reality TVs or new series or whatever, but I think I enjoy reality TV more. So I think I could try e-reviews. I don't know what you guys think about that. And then if you guys are keen on looking forward to TV reviews or enjoy other TV reviews and would like me to try them out, I can do that just to like create more content, because guys ndinqabile ngoku, and the reason why ndinqabile is because I don't really have content to give out. And vlogs, I can vlog, like I can vlog all the time. I enjoy vlogging, but the problem is that izinto endizenzayo ebomini bam repetitive, literally. Like I go to the same mall for groceries, like I go to the same nail tech for nails. I go out here and there, like to eat out. Most of the time I just go to Groove. I can't vlog that and stuff, so ziyaphindaphindana. So as a result, like I end up basically doing vlog is fanayo. So that's why I'm just like, I wanted to vlog last time. I wanted to do my nails and I was gonna go grocery shopping, but then I was like, do I really wanna? Do I really wanna? But yeah, I'm gonna try, like if I happen to do is different and stuff, I'm gonna try by all means to vlog. But the problem is that sometimes at some point I went to a Tracker Tuesday and then that was it. Like I literally went to a Tracker Tuesday that can make a vlog. So I ended up doing a TikTok instead. So guys, do follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. TikTok allowed TikTok. So I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with like being like doing TikTok, or I rather do reels instead of TikTok. So please do follow me on TikTok and Instagram, because this is like TikTok. Leo bandithi xa ndifika emsebenzini kuthiwe, we saw that you posted on TikTok. Angiqondi ba it's what I want to do, because I'm someone who really like I'm very literal in the situation of keeping my private life away from my work life. Like hide your colleagues status, they don't know, like my social media names are literally not the same as my name, so they can't really find me easily, or they can on Instagram, but on YouTube, no. Someone tried, because they picked up that I'm a YouTuber. They tried to look for me, but they couldn't. So but to TikTok uvele abaxelele just because they have my number. So we have a notify ba who's your lesbian, who's your contact on WhatsApp, posted a video. Like, why TikTok? Why? So I'm not sure if I want to like continue to talk. So please do follow me on both platforms, and then we're gonna see which one I'm gonna be consistent on. Anyway guys, hope you did enjoy this video. Love you guys loads. Bye bye. Talk to you guys on the next video. Bye.